Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you a one card wonder deck. Since the skill is about to get nerfed, I wanted to make sure I covered it before it goes away. And I have been playing this on stream, but I don't know if you guys have been watching the streams. So it's a really cool aggressive one card wonder deck. Most of the time when you see one card wonder decks, their win con is to deck you out or to burn you, and you know the lame ways of winning the duels. Mine is very aggressive. It runs very little back row. We rely on protecting ourselves from direct attacks and damage in general by using Karibos and Kiteroid. However, before I go over the deck list, I want to point out real quick, if you haven't been keeping up with my streams again, I'm no longer streaming on YouTube. Last week was my last YouTube stream. So from now on, if you guys want to keep up with my stream, you have to go follow me on that link underneath, twitch.tv/MarioCRG. That's where all my streams are going to be from now on. I've already had a couple that have gone great. Appreciate the guys that have come out and support your boy in a new endeavor. But yeah, just a quick announcement, and then let's go over this deck list. So one card wonder, you start the duel with one card in your hand, and after that, every time you draw a card, you actually get to draw two, which is pretty insane. It obviously depends a lot on what your first card is. That's why a lot of people just run a 30 card deck that has 30 stall cards, so that they can survive. I'm doing kind of the same thing, but I'm not as defensive as most decks. Thanks to Kiteroid, this card is amazing. You can stall 2 attacks with a single Kiteroid, which is really great. Then we have Karibos, which also prevent us from taking damage. We have Scrap Goblin that cannot be destroyed by battle. We have Flip Flop Frog that can return monsters to the hand without targeting. We also have Wing Karibo, 2 Flute of Summoning Karibo to search either the Karibo or the Wing Karibo. And the reason why I have 2 Flute and only 1 Wing Karibo is because, again, I'm trying to take advantage of Kiteroid saving us from direct attacks. And there's a lot of piercing monsters going around that I don't want to set a monster if I can help it. Obviously, the Scrap Goblin and the Flip Flop Frog are a little bit different because they have a dual purpose here. They can also be used with Alistair for my invoked fusions. He's also a tuner, so we can go into Black Rose and wipe out the board. And then we do have the Lava Golems. Lava Golem is obviously to out any problematic monsters, but it's also a fire monster. So if we need to, we can use him to go into our single Purgatrio. I still don't have a second one. I don't even know if I'm gonna go back into the box, but I really wish I had a second one. And then I threw 2 Sangan in here because, believe it or not, I lost some duels, and some duels just lasted way too long because my Alistairs would always be at the bottom of the deck. They would be like the last 3 or with the last 5 cards in the deck. So Sangan is in there to speed that up a little bit. Sangan can also search literally everything in the deck except for Lava Golem. So if you need to, you can search for Kiteroid, you can search for Karibo, you can search Flip Flop Frog, Goblin, whatever you need. Just know that you can't activate the effect that turn. So it's not like they can destroy your Sangan. You can search Kiteroid and protect yourself. You have to wait until the following turn. And then for the rest of the aggressiveness, we have double concentrating current because it's a given with an invoked engine. I believe if they hit the deck, it's gonna be hit in a way where you can't run 3 concentrating current alongside the 3 invoker, because that's just too strong of a combo at the moment. And then we have Hatrunate to take care of back row, and double invocation because it's never safe to run 1. If they cyclone it, you pretty much lose. Fusions, again, 1 Purgatrio, double Magellanica, double Cositus, and then Black Rose Dragon for the last extra deck slot. Let me go ahead and show you some games. And yeah, I was very surprised this morning because I went to sleep really late last night after I streamed, and when I saw the updates, I just looked at the new event cards. I didn't even see the skill rebalancing and all that. And then I looked at it this morning and I was like, oh wow, they're hitting one card wonder. I'm so glad they're hitting dual standby Amano, because that's just a dumb deck. So here we're going second. If you go second, it dramatically increases your win rate going second, because you only lose one card basically. You get to start with 3 cards, and then you're already drawing 2 after that. And the cool thing about this deck is that a lot of people don't expect this deck to be aggressive, right? They're like, oh, it's just a stall deck. I'm just gonna have to get through a lot of back row, a lot of set monsters. They don't expect you to come at them with a massive monster, which is what I'm gonna do right now. And I feel a little bad for Fire Fist, because they're a very cool archetype that is definitely on the weak side. They need a little bit more help, and they're also fire, so that immediately gives me a Purgatrio that I can boost to 3,900 attack off of Alistair, and then we're holding a concentrating current. So that's all I took. I didn't have to draw into any of my style cards. I just needed the Alistair and the concentrating current, and we win. Let's see, what do we got next? We have Yami Yugi. And this is the, I believe what people are saying is the best deck in the format at the moment, or the most consistent. You know, the invoked elemental lords with sorcery conduit. I saw my boy Stephen Freshy using this, and he got to like 60,000 points in the KC Cup, like 67 I think at one point using this deck. So it's super strong. However, we can definitely do some stuff to it. So he's gonna use his effect. He doesn't have Battle Fist. He's kind of just thinning the deck so he can get to his Alistair. We're doing the same thing, and that's one thing that I kept in mind whenever I was building the deck. I didn't want to have too many back row that had to stay on the field. I want quick play spells. I want stuff that I can just use and not give my opponent the opportunity to activate the Cyclone, get their skill going. So a lot of times, instead of setting the Flute of Summoning to summon a Wing Kribo, as you see most people do, I just go ahead and search for a regular Kribo. If he goes for Purgatrio right now, the Wing Kribo wouldn't protect me from that fat damage. Kribo will. So that's kind of the thought process there. Scrap Goblin is going to be destroyed. We're going to set the Flip-Flop Frog. I don't mind if I didn't have my regular Karibos. I wouldn't be setting monsters. I would be relying on the Kite Roid, but because I have the Karibo and I can mitigate piercing damage, we're just gonna do that. He hits me with the Tretch, so my Wing Karibo gets wasted. But we're finally gonna get to add the Alistair thanks to Sangan, and we're gonna discard a regular Karibo and a Flip-Flop Frog. So now it's time to get this dub. Activate Invocation. It gets Cyclone. More power to me, man. You just gave me 1,000 less life points to worry about. We're gonna go for the Purgatrio, and this was completely intentional. He could have waited, and honestly, he should have waited until I reached the battle phase. But because he didn't, and he immediately hits my Purgatrio, now I can actually win this game by going for my second Invocation. I don't have a Purgatrio anymore, which is fine. And again, he just lowered his life in half. So we're just gonna go for the sure bet with this, which is Cocytus. This plays around a Sphere Karibo, and you know, obviously the double Concentrating Current. Even without the Alistair boost, it's more than enough damage to beat him down. There we go. And to be fair, even if he hadn't used the Cyclones, he would have been dead. I don't know. I think the duel could have been differently if he played more aggressively. For some reason, when I go up against people like that, they see that my deck is 25 cards or 24, and they just let me gain the card advantage. They're like, oh, he's gonna deck out. He's not gonna be able to OTK me. You know, if I don't summon a second monster, he can't Lava Golem me. He doesn't have a win condition. That's what they think. And then I hit him with the Spice, and you know they're salty after that. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and set the flip-flop frog. This guy was playing a Quintet magician deck, so that's why he's playing very passively. You see a lot of different spellcasters. This play was completely... I don't understand. He knows I have flip-flop frog, so he puts a silent magician on the board that it's gonna get bounced. I don't understand. But we're not getting our Alistair just yet, so we have to play around this silent magician negation. And I could try to do my Alistair right now since I do have one concentrating current, but he obviously can negate my invocation. So we're gonna see if he's gonna be patient, and he sure is. He doesn't negate either of my Fluid of Summonings. Now we can set the Goblin, activate Hate Trunade. He still doesn't want to negate, he wants to wait for the invocation, but we're not gonna give him the chance. We can just go into Black Rose Dragon. Black Rose Dragon is also a fire, so you can use him for your Purgatrio. He's gonna search, summon a level 8, but do you see what is in my hand? Do you see how disgusting this is? Once again, we're playing around Sphere Kribo. Purgatrio and Magellanica are stronger, but this guy plays around the Sphere Kribo, and with the amount of boosts in my hand, we're gonna kill him anyways. Activate the current, chain, and we get that massive 7200 to the face. Yeah, I'm just farming people in PvP with this deck. And this one was just funny. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just gonna let you watch it. There's nothing that I need to commentate right here. I'm just gonna let you guys watch it. Alright, he passes. I have a Kribo, he passes. We're gonna set the frog. Now it's time for him to go in, right? He's gonna go with the amazing combo that is Vylon Epsilon. Searches for a filament. He already has Power of the Guardians. So let's go over what this guy has right here. Okay? Power of the Guardians, so he can be protected from destruction by removing a counter. He also gains 500 attack every time he attacks. Violent Segment, equipped only to a violent monster. It cannot be targeted by the opponent's monster effects or trap effects. This face-up card in the field sent to the graveyard. You can add one volume spell card from your deck to your hand. Now we have this. Equipped cards equipped to this card cannot be targeted by cards or card effects. So we can't target the spells. We can't target the monster. And he could have sent an equipped card to the graveyard to destroy my face down. But he's protected by everything, right? He has nothing to lose if he attacks. Well, not exactly. Flip-flop frog does not target, does not care about your feelings, and we get the scoop. The sad thing is that he probably looked at my deck, saw that I only run 2 flip-flop frogs, and then just, you know, turn off his phone for the rest of the day. And then last but not least, we have another sorcery conduit invoked deck. This time we're seeing the Roid variant that I've also heard is one of the strongest. So how do we do against that? I forget to put a mat on this thing. Now that they actually show in replays, I need to. So he's gonna add his invocation. He has Alistair turn 1, doesn't need to rely on this skill. Good for him. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Fluid of Summoning. Again, I don't want to set it and have it Cyclone. Goes for invocation. He doesn't have a fire, so he has to go for Cositus, and that's fine. Cositus is really good, but he's also not very threatening. So look at how my opponent is playing this, right? He's playing this as if I'm just a stall player. He's not summoning a second monster, so I don't Lava Golem him. He's not overextending, and he sees how quickly my deck is thinning. However, at this point, he sees my Alistair. So I think he should have been more aggressive. He's just letting me build all this card advantage, Sangen's gonna give me a Kiteroid. But look at him, not overextending. I'm discarding cards, I don't care. I'm setting Kribos because, you know, it's whatever. I see that he's not gonna overextend, so I finally get rid of the Lava Golem. And let's get rid of his spell and traps, right? I know I can't destroy the Cositas, that's fine. When I activate Invocation, I'm trying to force the Alistair from his hand. And at the same time, he could force mine, you know. But he chooses not to, so instead I'm gonna discard my Invocation, the card I need the least. I was saving the Lava Golem to see if at any point he would overextend. But no, he just keeps going through the motions. He goes for Cositas a second time. And he's just chilling. He's like, hey, you're at 8 cards, that's 4 turns, you're gonna deck out. I can only imagine that's his train of thought, because he never really threatens me in any way. We're gonna set the Flip-Flop Frog. Invoke her again. I'm like, alright, here it comes. I have 2 monsters on the field now. We're about to see a what's the name? A Purgatrio. Nope. 3rd Cositas. And he doesn't even attack this time around. So I'm like, alright, I could obviously flip the frog, send this back to the extra deck, but he has Kiteroid, so we don't want to do that. We want to play around the Kiteroid. We need some nice top decks though. And we get a Concentrating Current and an Alistair. It's time to win this game. He had his chance, he decided to play the long game, so now he's gonna get punished for it. So using my Lava Golem and my Alistair, we are going to summon Invoked Purgatrio. He has Kiteroid, right? So he should be safe after I destroy the Cositas. Well, no. We're going for the pierce damage. And I just want to put this in perspective. He has 1 Alistair, right? Let's say he had 3 Alistair. He can get this guy to 5,900 defense if he had 3 Alistair, which he does not. But let's just say this is 5,900 for the sake of argument. Look at my attack. And tell me if that would have mattered. So nice Kiteroid you have in there, I don't care. 88 to the face. If we subtract another 2,000 from that, had he had another 2 Alistair, it's still lethal by a lot. That's just how disgusting this deck is. And it's gonna get nerfed, so play it while you can if you want to have fun with it. I think it's fun. The games don't last forever because, you know, you have a fast way to try to go for game. The horrible matchups are the obvious matchups. Triomits, because your Kiteroids and Kribos are dead. Ancient Gears for the same reason. And then I really hate playing Stall because the duels just last forever. But other than that, it has a decent matchup against everything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch if you want to see some more streams. And until next time.